Oh my gosh, it's North Coast football time. Beep-a-doop-beep-a-doop-a-doop-boo. Beep-a-doop-beep-a-doo. All right, all right. Hey, welcome everybody. It's week 5 for the North Coast Football Fantasy Football League. I am your host, John Clark. And once again, we have another week of exciting football with some pretend consequences. But before we get into the matchups, let's look and see what the movers and shakers were this week. How's everything panning out for everybody? Well, look at that. Look at that. It's looking up for Josh, for Steve, for Dan, for John the Elder, and for Vince. You guys are still 4-1. Congratulations. Way to go. If anybody was ever wondering, how long does it take to go from first to tied for last? Well, we have answered that question. I have sacrificed myself and my team to find the answer to that question, and the answer is 4 weeks to go from number 1 to number 12. Ridiculous. Anyway, those are the current overall standings for the league. As you can see, people keep piling up points against me. I don't know what I ever did to you guys. But this week was no exception. All right, let's get into the matchups. Okay, first matchup. We've got Mr. Bones Bombers, John the Elder. He had his bye week this week. Congratulations. Didn't have to sweat nothing. On a week of extended schedules, and are they going to play, are they not going to play, and unexpected bye weeks, you didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. But hey, let's see how your team did. I know you didn't set your optimal lineup, and you didn't have to. And even with that, you got 109 points, which, by the way, was this week's average. 109. So, you were right there. Absolutely average on a week that didn't matter. It was good because Lamar Jackson, slightly concerning. But, are you going to play Tannehill over Jackson? Maybe. I never thought I would say that. Matchup dependent. Maybe. So, 13.5, Derrick Henry and Chris Carson, that's still those two guys are still setting you up nicely. I know Chris Carson's on bye this week. Derrick Henry has had his bye. So after this week, after week 6, barring injuries, your running backs 1 and 2 are set. Don't have to worry about them, right? Now the wide receivers, like I said, you didn't have to pay attention to any injury reports or anything. So, the John Brown's goose egg isn't a big deal. Tyler Boyd was disappointing though. Travis Kelce, of course, went off. You have something that you don't have to deal with, and that is the tight end position. We'll get into that later on in some of the other matchups. I'll save it. All right, now Josh Kelly was hyped up this week. He was supposed to have a week, and he did not. There was a lot of that. This week. Guys hyped up. Boy, boof. All right, Mr. Tannehill getting 30, and then you're sitting on Damian Harris. That's a good pickup. It could be a good pickup. That's a lotto ticket right there. I know there's Le'Veon Bell rumors right now. Who's he going to? I heard Patriots a little bit this morning. I didn't hear about it this afternoon. So Damian Harris might become a thing. The Bills, however, they were in the conversation for Le'Veon Bell. That could make Zach Moss droppable. Anyways. There's nothing else on your bench worth really talking about here. But, on a week where you didn't have to worry about nothing, still getting the average. That's what I would expect from your team. Set it and forget it, right? All right. All right, on to the head-to-head matchups. Okay, first head-to-head matchup, we've got For Castleton versus the hopeful Yokel and Scott. And I believe I asked you specifically, Scott, to take it easy. I believe those were my words, and you did not. You did not oblige. Now it didn't help that my guys didn't perform. What is it? The Belichick's thing is do your job. I'd be firing everybody but 2 people this week. Anyways, taking a look at For Castleton. Hey, Kyler Murray, he did his job. He did his job. Look at that, 29 points. You can't ask for better. You could, but you're probably not going to get better. Now, I did know going into this week, week 5, I had it penciled on my calendar ever since the draft because I ended up with Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams. And week 5 is Green Bay's scheduled bye week. So I knew it was going to be a rough week anyways. Well, Devontae Adams being injured, I'd made some moves to help alleviate that part. I did not make moves to alleviate the running back part, and boy, did it. Ugh. Not saying I would have won, but I wouldn't have scored the stupid, dumb number of 88. Stupid number 88. All right. So I had to play Latavius Murray. Couldn't be the week he got 20 points, and like in week 4, couldn't be that week. Look, I'm going to try to avoid this just turning into me complaining. Okay? Because I got every right to. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to find the silver lining, right? We got to try to keep it positive. It's just pretend football. And then you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. 9 points. Can you guys give him some goal line runs, please? Get that man in the end zone. All right, Robert Woods did his job. You're not fired, Robert Woods. Terry McLaurin, man, I missed the weeks of 25 points. 4 points from Terry McLaurin. Tight end things. That position shall not be named. And then Justin Jefferson, another one. He was hyped up. Great matchup against Seattle. Oh my gosh, Seattle puts, Thielen had a day. Thielen had a day, but not my Justin Jefferson. Oh well. All right. Now I picked up Fitz Magic because there was some speculation on whether or not the Arizona game was going to be played very early in the week. So okay, I have Fitz Magic on my bench. I mean, he's not going to have the job much longer, anyways. But anyway, whatever. Of course, there's my 2. Okay, Cam Akers, all right. And then Eric Ebron, who would have thought that I would have rather had 4.8 from a position than 1.1. Tight ends. Let's go into a team that's actually improving. Let's go into that team, shall we? Scott, the hopeful yokel. I mentioned it on the league board. I needed 30 to 40 points going into Monday night's game because of your New Orleans stack. And you were ahead by 4 going into that game. So obviously room for improvement on my guys' performances. But your stack did their thing, man. That was annoying. All right. So there you go. 30 points from them. Le'Veon Bell. Well, I mean, his situation just got interesting. I know you had to put him in. You probably weren't happy about it, but it's fine. It's fine. When Jamison Crowder goes off for 24.6, Le'Veon Bell can have an off week, right? Man, Jamison Crowder. And, all right, Tyreek Hill got his. That's good. Greggy Olsen, little Greggy, 2.5. Well, hey, your tight end beat my tight end. And Myles Gaskin, I'll tell you, on that Miami game, shocking upset, and they dominated the 49ers. Holy cow. I mean, what was that final score? 43-17. Whew. And Gaskin got his. He got his piece of that. All right. Looking on your bench here, obviously you're not going to drop Chubb. He'll be back at some point, God willing. But yeah, I mean, your roster moves were all the right moves. Keelan Cole, Michael Gallup, Jarvis Landry. Your other wide receivers performed better, so that was a good move. I don't know many people who would have played Jamison Crowder over Michael Gallup. But you did. Boom, you got it, man. So congratulations to you, Scott. You've improved to 2-3. Hey, next week maybe you can get to 500, and maybe next week I can secure last place. I can do anything. Next up, we've got John the Younger with Nero's Fiddle against Kurt and Feeling Fine. So, okay, so John, 163 points. That was unnecessary. That's unnecessary. Oh, man. Kurt finally had a week where most of the pieces on his roster clicked, even his kicker and defense. John had to go and do him dirty. But that's pretend football for you, right? The thing is, gosh, okay, let's look and see what happened, because this is one of the most ridiculous things I've seen. Going into the week, I know there was matchups with your QBs. I probably would have put Jared Goff in, but look, it doesn't matter. They scored half a point difference, so who cares, right? So Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's proven that he's fantasy relevant. He's fantasy relevant. There you go. Zeke finally had a game. I think going forward with the absolutely unfortunate injury to Dak, I think they're going to have to rely on him even more. So there you go. And Kareem Hunt, the absence of Chubb, 16.8 points. Man, there you go. There's your boy Adam Thielen. 24. I mean, the miraculous thing is all these guys just clicked. Except for your tight end. You're getting a goose egg from your tight end. That's so stupid. Oh my gosh. And you still got 100. I mean, obviously, number one in points for this week. By far. It wasn't close. When the weekly average is 109, and you get 163, come on, man. All right, let's keep going. Gurley, man. Gurley, that Atlanta, awful. Gurley had a game. All right, so on your bench here, Devontae Freeman, he's still that's. I mean, your running backs. You've some of their situations have improved, and you've benefited from that. I think. I mean, really, I think three of your four. All four of your running backs there. Forget Dearness Johnson. Forget that guy. Your four other ones. I mean, their situations have improved due to exterior circumstances. But you've got your two handcuffs there. Now's the time. Now's the time to pick up handcuffs. I mean, Tony Pollard. Yeah, that would be a must-have. Must-have. All right, and then finally, Mr. Julian Edelman with his surprise bye week. No, wait. Yeah. Surprise bye week. Gosh. I don't know why I doubted myself for a second there. I'm like, no, they didn't play. Anyway. Shut up, John. Go to the next one. All right. Kurt. Improving every week. You're improving your roster, your lineup. Got to give you kudos on your moves. I think you and I are like out of fab. I think both of us are out of fab. So 115, you know, and you had, like I said earlier, you had guys that started to click, started to come together. Some surprise disappointments in there. Amari Cooper, I know his. Well, Andy Dalton he's all right. He likes to throw the deep ball every now and then. So Amari Cooper might, his situation has definitely it's seen better days with Dak, but we'll see how things go. But DJ Moore, very nice. Hayden Hurst, look, I dropped him because I kept hoping. Look, I know, but that's the tight end situation we're in. You gotta grasp. Unless you got the top 4 guys, you gotta grasp. And a bunch of us, we be grasping, man. Holy cow. And then T. Higgins, 8 points, about expected. On your bench, Jonnu Smith is your definite silver lining. I mean, now that he's back, yeah, I think Mr. Hayden Hurst might find his way onto your bench. Little swapperoo there. But, yeah. Again, it wouldn't have made a difference. That swap, you can't kick yourself for that coaching move. But, all right. So, it's a slaughter. It was a slaughter fest. We'll see what happens going forward. Both you guys are right there in the middle of the pack. Let's see what way it goes. Hopefully it goes up. Okay. On to the next beatdown. Good gracious. Look at this. The Finns against these unprecedented times. Matt versus Dan. Another one that just wasn't close. This week I had to wait till after Tuesday night to post or try to record this stuff. And there was no point in the Tuesday night game. Like some people had nothing was close. Not like last week. Last week a lot of games. Anyway, all right. We're not focused on last week. We're focused on week 5. So with the Finns, okay. So with the 86, hey, disappointment all around, right? But let's see what happened. But then we'll go on to Dan and your ridiculous 131 points here. So Josh Allen was 16. Yeah, I know that was unusual, right? Malcolm Brown with 2. Yeah. Leonard Fournette with a goose egg. I mean, was he? I don't know. When was he announced to be out, or was he out? I don't know what happened there. I didn't watch the Bucs game. I don't know. But that's unfortunate, right? Okay, and Tyler Lockett, wasn't Seattle's game. But then you got Preston Williams. There you go. Part of that beatdown, that unexpected beatdown. Preston Williams. Look, I hope you really enjoyed watching the Dolphins game. I know you're a Dolphins fan. I'm sure you enjoyed that. And Darren Waller getting you 13 points in the tight end. There you go. Nice. Very nice. But overall, I mean, I know Keenan Allen's got so many questions with Keenan Allen. The nice thing is, if we're looking at your bench here, you've got some depth at wide receiver. You got some choices to make at running back. Now, I know our waivers have already gone. I realize that. And I know you made some moves. But we're just reflecting on what happened during week 5, right? But Henry Ruggs seems like he could be the real deal. Now, granted, that was in another game that was very unexpected, but he really shined. He really shined in that one. So you might have something on your hands there. I feel like the reviews are getting a lot shorter because there's not as many people to talk about. All these unexpected bye weeks and anyways. You got some nice depth there though. And if you played Daniel Jones this week, That'll be something, right? Going up against the football team. All right. So now on to Dan's These Unprecedented Times. Dalvin Cook. It finally happened. It finally happened. Now, I think I don't know if this was out of necessity or if you just had a big brain moment. But playing both Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison together. Now I know Kirk Cousins was a good snag this week. 14 points. You're not thrilled with that, but yeah, it was whatever. He's fine. He was fine this week. It seems like that offense is clicking. But the fact that you played RB1 and 2 and they both scored for you, man, what a big brain move that was. All right. But then Josh Jacobs, he's back, baby. He's back. Will Fuller still getting it done there. DK Metcalf. Well, there's where all of Tyler Lockett's points went. There they are. Look. DK must have paid him off. I don't know. Mighty suspicious. All right. And Gronk. Oh, Gronk. What can I say? He beat a lot of tight ends this week. I wonder what number tight end he ended up being with 6.7 points. All right, so bench time. So there's your QB. There's your QB on bye week there. Bunch of bye week guys. Holy cow, I didn't realize you had that many bye week guys. Woo. And you still, wait, hold on. You still got 131? That's stupid. That's stupid. In a good way. Stupid. That's stupid. All right. Dan. Good game. Good game. These slaughters, there's not a lot to talk about. Not a lot to talk about on these slaughters. All right. On to the next one. The next slaughter was Jeff and Adam, the Banana Slugs against the 8-bit Defenders. And yeah, another one that was just absolutely not even remotely close. Now, you could see Adam did have a negative 1 point for his defense. That technically that's worse than a 0. But yeah, it looks a lot like my team. You're happy with like 2 guys, happy with 2 of them, and the rest you're like, oh, come on now. All right, but we're gonna start with Jeff's team, the Banana Slugs, with 106. All right. Oh. There was a surprise goose egg in there, too. Mr. Scott Miller. Little Scott. Oh, that guy's been passed around more than my high school girlfriend. It was ridiculous. Gardner Minshew. Dude, riding Gardner Minshew. That's fantastic. Oh, man. That is so much fun. Look at that. And then, you got Mr. Naeem Hines. You let Kurt pay a lot of fab for that guy. So, I don't know. I don't know if he was worth Kurt's fab. I don't know if he was worth it. So, 4 points there. That sucks. But, on the flip side, Darrell Henderson getting 20. There you go. There you go. Well, you only need 3 or 4 20s in your week, and your chances to win are exponentially higher than if they were not 20s. Oh. All right, so there you go. Look at that. 3 good performers: Minshew, Henderson, and Williams. Then you got Mr. Scotty giving you the goose egg. Yeah, surprise on that one. Again, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the Tampa Bay game. But anytime you get a 0 from someone who was actually in a game, I mean, what are you going to do, right? You could spite drop him. I don't know if you'll spite drop Scott Miller, but you could. It would be funny. Mark Andrews getting you 14. There you go. And Hunter Renfrow. It's like Ruggs got y'all. Got them all. Couldn't they have thrown Renfrow a few? All right. And hey, good coaching move. Didn't play Jimmy G. He was back. With some negative point. Of course, Rex with the surprise bye week. And, I mean, and then Marquise Brown coming through. Marquise Brown. I mean, you've got, like, your wide receivers are all good. They're all like fine starts. It's like, but which one are you going to start each week? It's kind of a crapshoot. You got to get lucky, right? Look at those matchups. Get a little lucky. Pray to the fantasy football gods. Maybe give them some sort of blood sacrifice of some kind. Maybe they'll give you some insight. They'll be juggling all around. And then Michael Thomas. He's almost back. If he could stop fighting his teammates, he's almost back. Michael Thomas. All right. It wasn't great, but it was good enough to get the W, right? And that's all you need. That's all you need. Now going over to the 8-bit defenders. Adam, what do we got over here, man? Big Ben. Big Ben, he had a week off, and look at that. Throw it to Mr. Claypool, right? Was that 4? 4 or 5 scores for Mr. Claypool? Man. Then James White, Adam, you gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. That impromptu bye week, it bit you. Kenyon Drake, he was hyped up this week. They're like, finally, he might have a week. All right, he did. For Kenyon Drake, he had a week. But I know he's been a disappointment. A.J. Green was 0. Man. That would explain the 70 total points, right? And then Darius Slayton, he's probably the only playable wide receiver from New York. And even then, it would be very, very matchup dependent on that one. George Kittle, going from last week, oh my gosh, Kittle's back, to Kittle's back, but 6 points from your tight end. Okay, all right. You ain't moving him. All right, and finally, Mark Ingram getting you 5. Oh, you had Chase Claypool. Oh, look at that. You had Chase Claypool. Oh man. See, maybe you need to do a blood sacrifice to the fantasy guys. They would have told you. Put in Claypool instead of A.J. Green. Who would have made that move? The fantasy gods would have told you. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, even if it was 18 points, that's a tough one. But going forward, he ain't going to do that every week. No, of course not. But he could. All right, very nice. Yeah, well, you dealt with some of the, with Peterson being on bye and everything. You dealt with a couple of the surprise bye weeks. But, sitting on a couple of other tight ends there. Hey, look, Hunter Henry, Dalton Schultz. You might maybe try shopping them around. Get some more wide receiver. No, try to get a running back or something. All right. Anyways, super disappointing week for you, Adam. But again, both you guys right now, you're right there in the middle of the pack. Both at 2 and 3. You could make just a couple moves, and that could make a difference. All right. Anyway, both you guys well played, especially Jeff. Just beating the crap out of Adam. I don't know how you guys are still friends. I don't know. All right, probably the game with the biggest implications this week. It was Steve versus Vince. Roy versus Marsala Maulers. Vince going into week 5, was the last undefeated team. Now, this game was quite a bit closer than the other ones we've looked at. But Steve did enough, got it done, man. 117 on the dot. And Vince, now he's down with us mere mortals. He's got at least one loss. You guys saw at the beginning, there's a lot of 4-1 teams. There's still a lot of implication. No one is running away with this year. No one's running away with it. So, all you middle of the pack guys, and some of you guys that are a little lower than middle of the pack, could be anybody. You got a chance. You got a chance, guys. 1 week can make a huge difference in your standings. So looking at Roy here. Patty Mahomes finally, right? I know you've been waiting for a 30-plus point game, and he delivered for you this week. Look at that, 32.7 points. Man, oh man. And that was in a loss. Man. What else can you say? You're not moving him. You're not trading him. He's definitely the brightest spot on your roster there. Devin Singletary, maybe there were some high hopes for him this week too, right? Devin Singletary, both your running backs, James Robinson. That's a low game for him. I mean, when your two RBs only get you 10 points, that's pretty rough, right? But still, some of your other guys made up for it, right? CeeDee Lamb, look at that. Amari Cooper wants some of them points. Nope, CeeDee Lamb, give me the points. Give me almost 20 points. And Devontae Parker getting you 12. He got his little slice of that pie that Fitzmagic put out for everybody. And then finally, David Montgomery being your flex. That's excellent. 15 points out of your flex. Take it, right? All right. Look, at least you didn't have to sit on Tom Brady. You didn't have to use Tom Brady, right? And Brandon Cooks. What do you do with him? I mean, he goes from 0 to 29. What do you do with that guy? Oh, at least I don't have to deal with that decision. Good luck to you. I don't want to jinx you, but you put him into your lineup and he's going to goose you again. Watch. No. He might. All right. And now, you got a lot of just solid guys, right? I mean, the trick is, when are you going to play them, right? When do you put them in your lineup? Because I think of all the teams, a lot of people have definitely some either handcuffs or dead weight, or multiple average tight ends, things like that. They're kind of taking up space, but for the most part, you've got flex startable guys. All right, and this week paid off for you with 117. All right, now on the flip side here, we got Vince, the Marsala Maulers. Dak. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He was the absolute hotness going into this week, man. And this week he was supposed to do the same thing. But gosh, I don't know if you guys saw it. Don't look up the injury. Don't. It's awful. But so you're gonna have to make some moves. Now your backup Matthew Stafford, he had his bye week this week, so going forward, you've got a solid guy. Maybe try to. I don't know how many are on our waivers. Seems like everybody, myself included, now has 2 quarterbacks on their bench. On the roster. So, anyways, unfortunate. So hey, Ronald Jones, he's fine. Antonio Gibson, floor, fine. He should have a week coming up, but we're talking about week 5. DeAndre Hopkins, there he goes. There's your 25. That's what, you're expecting 15 to 20 average, right, from DeAndre Hopkins. So getting 25 is fantastic. Cooper Kupp, neither Kupp and Woods, I know I talk about that a whole lot. Neither of them were great, but it was Woods week this week. And then finally, Mike Gesicki getting you 11. That's excellent. But Chark, man, he's up, he's down, he's up, he's down. He's no Brandon Cooks right now, but goodness gracious. All right, looking at your bench here, like I said, you got Matthew Stafford. you know, what else are you going to do? I mean, like I said, our waivers are pretty, unless you start streaming, pretty bare at the moment. And then you've got, I mean, really nobody of note. I mean, you've got a couple tight ends there. Evan Ingram, he's play. I don't think you'll play him over Mike Gesicki. Maybe, I mean, maybe situational right there. Harrison Bryant, all right. Anyway, not a lot of depth. Not a lot of depth, but hey, right now you're good enough to be 4-1, right? So going forward, maybe try to get a little bit of depth again. Talking to the 12th place owner here. Talking to the 12th place owner. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. All right. Anyways, there you go. Steve, way to even things up. Way to bring Vince down just a peg. Bring him down with the mere mortals. With the win there for you. All right, moving on to our last heads up match. All right, the final matchup. We've got Josh and the Wet Ass Pips against Ryan and the Black Swan event. Now, this one was a close one by this week's standards. And it propelled Josh. Josh is back up in the lead, right? Back up in the lead. So, overall, I mean, both defenses getting negative points. So, that's always pretty rough, right? And let's take a look at what happened here. Let's look at the story, because being the closest game, there may have been some moves that if either coach had made, would have made a huge difference. So let's see. We got Teddy Bridgewater. Ballsy play. I know you didn't have much of a choice with Cam Newton being out. Surprise, But it ended up being good. Ended up being a fine play. 23 points from your QB. Now Mike Davis is proving to be a fantastic pickup. Now I know you basically had to get him because of your Christian McCaffrey situation, but you were probably hoping for someone who was just fine. He's more than fine. He's fantastic. Look at that, 25 points, and Joe Mixon getting you 12. Not the amazing week that he has given before, but Joe Mixon is becoming much more stable, I think, as a weekly start. Mike Evans getting you 12. There you go. OBJ getting you 8. Nah, all right. Tight ends, we shall not be named. And Robbie Anderson. I've probably said a few times now, that was a good pickup. And he has proven it, man. That guy has been well worth the whatever draft capital that you paid for him. He's been well worth it. So, when you've got Robbie Anderson for your flex, he's your solid flex behind Mike Evans and OBJ. He's seems kind of like this. I don't know, just a solid start. You're going to get some points from him. Looking down your bench, I mean, Chase Edmonds. Arizona running backs. Everyone thought it was going to be Drake this week. Nope, it was Edmonds. All right. McCaffrey coming back soon. Soon. I think he's starting to reach the good timeline. If what did say 4 to 6 weeks, I think, and I think this has been 4 weeks. So Christian McCaffrey should be coming back for you, but Mike Davis in the meantime is fine. He's fine. Heck, I mean, when they come back, you might be able to play both. It could be a Dalvin Cook Madison situation. Anyway, I think Watkins is definitely out this week, so I'm not going to drop him, obviously, but all right. Oh, and T.Y. Hilton, what do you do with him? Keep him on your bench. That's what you do with him. Keep him on your bench. All right. Next on to Ryan the Black Swan event. Russell Wilson, there you go. Russell Wilson's back. 24 points. David Johnson, 11 points. James Conner, 13 points. I mean, what do you want me to just list what they are, right? You guys are here for my stunning analysis. Probably more for encouragement, I think. At least half you guys are here for my encouragement, I hope. But no, Juju missing out to Claypool. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say there, right? Probably Juju was the element that allowed Claypool to have his game. I didn't watch that game closely. But I don't know. Were they probably double teaming Juju or focusing on Juju and left Claypool open? All right, Calvin Ridley finally, after last week's what the crap moment. There we go, 20 points from him. Jimmy Graham getting in the end zone. That seems to be what he's doing as of late, right? Yeah, he's not going anywhere out of your lineup, I don't think. Let's see, Jonathan Taylor. There we go, 14 points from him. All right. Now, some of your other ones, just like some of the other teams, you've got some decent depth, right? Especially at wide receiver. Well, really at wide receiver. With Chenault and Sanders. I mean, both of those guys are pretty fantastic. And you've got Jared Cook as your backup tight end. All right. No, I mean, It seems like, your team obviously performed better than mine, but it seems like the same type of situation where enough guys didn't pull their weight, and that's what ended up with 101, right? Better luck going forward to you. You and I are right there. We're right there at the bottom, right? We gotta scrape these things together, get our wins any way we can. I put a few trades out there. So far they've all got rejected, but you got to keep trying, right? You got to keep trying. Make some moves, because anyways. All right. Great matchup. Put this match bookends the league, right? Number 1, number 13 bookends the league. All right, very good. Well, on to the final part here. We're done with the head-to-head matchups. All right, okay, so that does it for our heads-up matches. Going into week 6 here. Quickly approaching the midway point. If you're one of those teams like me who you really feel like your record doesn't reflect your talent, try making some moves. Shake things up a little bit, move some pieces around. I know it's real easy to get into your team bias, like, oh no, my guys are better than what try to have an objective look at this situation, right? That's my best advice to anybody who is shy about making trades or offering trades. You're so paranoid you might get ripped off that you don't want to put anything out there, right? But if you're sitting at the bottom, near the bottom, this is a really close league right now. A couple week turnaround and you could really increase your standings here, right? So, anyways, I know I'll be putting some offers out. And hope people will consider them. Hope they'll consider them. Anyways, listen, stay safe out there, guys. Stay informed, and I'll see you guys next week.